What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another Star Wars News Roundup. We got 3 stories today, and we're going to start with one that came out right after we recorded last week's video, so it's not like breaking news, but it's still very exciting, and that is John Williams' return to Star Wars. Variety says more than 2 years after completing his 9th Star Wars movie, composer John Williams is returning to the Jedi fold with a theme for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Return of the King, indeed.
Return of the King.
I was going to title this, like, Return of the Maestro or something. But yes, I am real psyched to hear this. It's very much like his return to, well, not return, but he just went over to Solo: A Star Wars Story and did the theme for Han Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes perfect sense for him to come back and do this sort of thing. And I'm excited that he is involved. I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't be.
Yeah. Everyone loves John Williams. Like, I feel like he can do no wrong in this fandom.
I'm so ready for an Obi-Wan theme, like a new theme for him.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, you say a new theme, because this will be his second theme, technically. The Force theme in A New Hope, that was originally just meant to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's theme. Kind of the same way the main title that we just now know as the Star Wars opening theme, that was Luke Skywalker's theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then Star Wars blew up and they like just shifted everything around. They didn't know they were going to make more than one at that time. So I'm curious to see how Obi-Wan Kenobi's theme will develop. Is it going to still have hints of the Force theme in it, or is it going to be completely new? I wonder how that's going to be.
I think it'll have like a little bit of everything in there. It would be really cool to hear bits and pieces of stuff going back to the Clone Wars for him. Yeah,
the Clone Wars, the prequels. The way that this series is set right smack dab in the middle of the time between episodes, yes, Hilo, episodes 3 and 4. It's like they could be pulling in themes from both eras, mm-hmm. and I like that idea a lot.
And they could play with, intertwining his theme with Anakin's theme and like Vader and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Imperial March. Yeah, like I wonder if Imperial March is going to be used in this.
Oh, yeah.
They also haven't talked about who the composer is. And I don't think it's going to be John Williams, but like I kind of hope / would love if they got John Powell to come back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's just do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because he crushed it on Solo. He wrote some new music, but he also did a great job of pulling in classic themes. So I think that he could do something very similar. But, who knows?
Giacchino, too. I loved everything that he did for Rogue One. So.
Sure. And, he did that so quickly. He did that like in 4 weeks or something because they swapped out on the composers. So yeah, getting him some extra time to write Star Wars music, I'd be interested to see what he could do, even though I agree. I really enjoy his work on Rogue One. But yeah, speaking of composers, our second story is about the composer for Andor. Film Music Reporter says Nicholas Britell, composer of Succession, Moonlight, Don't Look Up, and more, has been tapped to score the upcoming Disney Plus original series Andor. So it's interesting to know that Andor has a composer, but we don't know Kenobi's yet. And that's coming out sooner. But yeah, I am familiar with these movies. We've seen Moonlight and Don't Look Up.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen one episode of Succession, and I do really like the theme for Succession.
Yeah, I remember the music being really good for Moonlight, too.
I couldn't tell you what the music was like in either that or Don't Look Up. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Don't Look Up, I don't really remember the music on that one. But there's a lot of stuff going on in that movie.
Yeah. And Moonlight, we saw that so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Succession, like, I just went back and I listened to that theme before this, and something about it, I'm like, yeah, this feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're not super familiar with Succession either, but it something about that music, I'm like, this could be folded into a spy thriller.
Oh, yeah.
Succession is more about, family drama, but, Andor might be like that too, because the family of the Rebel Alliance.
Isn't all of Star Wars a family drama?
Exactly. The family of the Rebel Alliance, and you have that crazy militant uncle, Saw Gerrera, who's always pushing the boundaries and making your mom Mothma, get upset at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm crushing this. And poor little Andor is just stuck in the middle.
Yeah. He's pushing his own agenda, his uncle agenda.
So, from what little I know of Britell's work, I'm already excited about it. I think he can do a really good job. But we have one more story we wanted to cover, and this one is more in the leak/rumor territory, which we're trying not to dip too far into, but this does start off from an official source, Production Weekly, and it's about a new untitled series that's supposedly going to start filming in June. But discussingfilm.net built off of it saying, "We have learned that John Watts is in talks to direct at least one episode of an upcoming mysteriously unannounced Star Wars series for Disney Plus, with plans to begin filming sooner than you think. The currently unannounced series is going under the working title of Grammar Rodeo, with production slated to begin this summer in Los Angeles. While we haven't been able to gather any concrete information on who will be writing this new project, we've heard from a handful of sources that Jon Favreau will be executive producing. As for when this could be set within the Star Wars timeline, Cinelinx reports that Grammar Rodeo is the working title for a show set during the High Republic era that has been described as Stranger Things in space." So I did look into the Production Weekly thing, and yeah, it does say June, Grammar Rodeo, Star Wars.
Grammar Rodeo means nothing to me. Stranger Things in space has me very excited.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about more, because, you know, bits and pieces of this story have been coming out for a while. Like our friends at Cinelinx have talked about it, and Bespin Bulletin, they've talked about it. So, you know, we're trying not to dive into leaks too much, but also this feels like a story that is slowly forming and stacking on top of each other. And the first thing I heard of it was like that it would be a High Republic show about kids, and like that at first to me I was like, okay, like I'll watch it, but we'll see. Hearing the description of Stranger Things in space, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
I don't know that they would take an already done story from like the comics or books or something and make it a live action show, but if they did, give us the High Republic adventures as a TV show, I think that would be awesome. And it totally fits in with the idea of it being Stranger Things in space, because it's like, you know, they're investigating the Dringir and, you know, the Nameless. So
it's true.
It works perfect.
The Nameless is a lot like the thing, Demogorgon from Stranger Things season 1, like those weird creatures. Yeah, you're not wrong there. I guess I'm kind of hoping that that'll all be new characters and a new adventure. Like, you know, kind of like the Acolyte is set within the High Republic. It's not going to be part of the books and comics that are currently coming out. I think that's the more likely scenario. This will be set within the High Republic, but unrelated to the Nameless and the Dringir. It would be cool to be wrong, because they do feel like very Stranger Things monsters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stranger Things is one of those stories that is about kids, but still so accessible to adults. And I should have expected that. Like, that is very much Star Wars in every way. I guess I was thinking it would be more along the lines of like a Star Wars Kids thing. I was like, this could be animated, but no, it's a live action thing about kids, which I guess that's just something they haven't really done before. Usually it's still about teenagers or adults, and then it's still accessible to a younger audience.
Right. But
now the cast is flipped.
Yeah. Let's get like a youngling arc or something like that. Let's get Little Rascals, but for Star Wars.
Yeah. You know, this also makes me think of Dooku Jedi Lost. There were a couple chapters, or I don't know what to call it in an audio drama. I guess it's still chapters. But there are some sequences with young Count Dooku and young Sifo Dyas, and they're in the Jedi Temple. And it feels a lot like Harry Potter in a fun, good way.
Yeah.
Of just, we could get a chance to see what life is like for younglings or Padawans in the Jedi Temple, how they grow up, and then what kind of wacky hijinks do they get themselves into.
Yeah, that it just makes me think of mostly just because I just finished it, but in Midnight Horizon, getting to see the relationship between Wreath and Ram and how adorable they are just like as friends. I would love to see that, but with like a group of Padawans.
Yeah, this is a chance to really open up the way that the Jedi are perceived, I think, because we have only really seen Padawans, and like Anakin was 19 and Obi-Wan was 25 when he was a Padawan in episode 1. So it could really be fun to see some younger kids in the Jedi Temple, some young Jedi just being kids and having fun. And that's a side of the Jedi we don't really get to see enough. And I think there's a reason people really enjoy the youngling arc in the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. Is that just let some kids get into some fun little hijinks, and I'm sure it'll be dangerous and still enjoyable for adults.
Yeah, because, you know, Jedi as adults, for the most part, like you said, what we've seen, they're a little stiff. They're a little stodgy. And so it would be cool to see them having some fun. And you want to give kids characters that they can relate to that are, you know, having fun, but also having problems and just like learning to what it is to be an adolescent. Mm-hmm. I think we need more of that in Star Wars.
Yeah. And knowing that Stranger Things is coming to an end in season 5, we're about to get season 4, and then season 5 will be the last one. So this could be our new show to fill that void, which I would really enjoy. But all that said, take it with a grain of salt. None of it's confirmed. Mm-hmm. None of it's been announced.
Take it with a grain of sand.
Oh, nice. I bet, like, there seem to be a lot of these stories going around where it's like this unannounced thing is on its way, but we don't know much about it yet. And with Celebration months away, I think they're just saving all of their announcements for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have some solid answers and news in a few months. But that's it for this week. So if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.